Hello, lovely people. Here's Muli from Little Wisdom. Welcome back. Today, let's talk about the law of gender rigidity. Reconnect to the masculine or feminine within you. In this video, we will discuss about the theory of a famous psychologist, Carl Jung, about anima and animus, how they form, what the meanings of them, how they influence our partner choice, their negative impact on intimate relationship, how to apply the knowledge into life, and what are the benefits. Have you ever wondered why between your boyfriend and your dad or your girlfriend and your mom, there are some or even many similarities in behaviors and personalities? For example, my friend Betty realized that her boyfriend is so similar like her father in many aspects. They both love plants and put many of them in the flat. They wear old socks even with holes. Even the way they talk is like mirroring each other. For a while, she was wondering if she really had a daddy issue, but soon she figured out it's natural for us humans. And Carl Jung provided a reasonable explanation for it. The story must begin from the very beginning. We all possess hormones and genes of the opposite sex. Therefore, our own opposite gender traits have already been written inside of us. In our earliest years, we are completely open and susceptible to the influence of people around, especially parents. During the daily interactions with the parent of the opposite sex, we constantly and unconsciously internalize the positive and negative qualities of them, and slowly form our multifaceted personality in response. For example, small boys often feel comfortable to express their affection, empathy, sensitivity that they have learned from the mothers. Small girls may develop an adventurous spirit, incorporate willpower and determination into her personality that they picked up from the fathers. At this moment, children do not judge what are suitable qualities for them, what they should be. They get the influence from the both parents, simply learn from them, and pick up all the qualities they have, no matter they are considered to be feminine or masculine by the society. However, as we grow older, the critical period comes. We must separate from the parents to go to school alone, for example. Then we need to forge our own identity. That means to create a self, to show to others what kind of person we are. The simplest and the most powerful way is to around the gender roles. That means girls should be pretty, sweet, emotional, while boys should be strong, tough, independent, and something like that. For this reason, boys began to have ambivalent relationships to their mothers. On the one hand, they craved the security and adoring attention from the mothers. On another hand, they feel threatened by the mother's femininity. They worried that they will lose themselves as boys or later on as men. Therefore, they need to differentiate themselves, establish their own sense of masculine identity. Very often, they tend to over-identify with the expected gender role, play up their toughness and independence. While the qualities like empathy, gentleness, or need for connection that they have learned from the mothers are considered too feminine for men, and therefore are repressed deeply and sink into their unconscious. The situation for girls is a bit different nowadays. When they feel the pressure to forge their own identity, some choose to keep valuable adventurous spirit, which they learn from the fathers. Because the modern society values more and more the masculine qualities, therefore women start to be not forced to be sweet and differential. Instead, they are encouraged to be more masculine and ambitious. However, the common scenario for girls is not like that. Most of them conform to the cultural norms, develop into traditionally feminine role, and repress the exploratory and aggressive side of their character. Let their masculine part sink into unconscious. No matter the unconscious feminine part in men, which is called anima, or the unconscious masculine part in women, animus, they are repressed and not visible in the daily life. But it doesn't mean that they are completely gone, not exist anymore. They are part of us and yell to come out when we meet certain types of people of the opposite sex. Ben was a happy boy growing up with a caring mother who nurtured and adored him. As he grows up, he develops into an independent tough man with a masculine image. Let's guess what kind of girl will make him fascinated and fall in love. It's a girl like Jennifer, who adores him very much. This caring capacity is exactly what he secretly craves, but never developed in himself, because he over-identified with expected gender roles. When we have positive relationships with our parents, we tend to project the desired qualities that our parents had onto the other person, hoping to re-experience that early paradise. Joey had a generally loving mother who showered him with love and attention, but the attention is somehow inconsistent due to the mother's inner anxiety and unhappy relationships. The mother used smoking, for example, to retreat from the stress in her life. When Joey grows up, he tends to fall in love with a caring girl who easily feels anxious or applies similar retreat strategy when facing pressure. When the relationships with parents is somehow ambivalent, we try to fix the original relationship by loving someone who reminds us of our imperfect parent figures, hoping that we can subtract their negative qualities and get what we never got in our early years. For these two situations, the person drawing our attention have unconsciously some psychology and physical resemblance to our parent of the opposite sex. Anna's father was very strict, distant, and critical. She secretly desired to rebel when she was young, but she never dared to do that. Later in life, she found rebellious, unconventional young men are so cool. They have the wild side that she was never able to express. When we have negative relationships with parents, we tend to love someone who has the opposite qualities to the parent of the opposite sex, but with a dark and shadowy nature. As you can see, anima or animus are developed automatically and unconsciously. It plays an important role in making us pay deep attention to certain types of people, become obsessive with them, and fall in love. However, anima or animus has also negative impact on intimate relationships, because they are formed since we were children. Therefore, long before starting a relationship, we have already known unconsciously what our anima or animus are, and search for people who might fit. The problems show up when we find the person and fall in love with them. We are not prone to see the partners as they are. Instead, we are immersed in our projections. Without clear awareness of influence of our projections, we tend to reshape the partners as we expected. If they cannot be reformed, we feel disappointed in them and blame them for not being what we had imagined. Reshaping the partners is only the method. Deep inside, we are trying to re-experience the warmth of the early years. Therefore, we may behave like children, feel terrified at thought of being abandoned, feel great fears and insecurities. As a result, we may express totally opposite traits. A tough man turns into hypersensitive. We may explain this as exceptions, not to our character, but actually, at this moment, our behaviors are mostly determined by unconscious forces. We are being more ourselves than ever. Because we are busy with reshaping partners based on our projections, we tend to lose the rational judgment of people's character. We might see a narcissist as genius, a control freak as protector. Eventually, the relationship may fall apart due to the endless misreading, miscommunications, and unconsciousness of the source of the problems. But don't worry, that is not the worst. The worst is that we are prone to go through precisely the same circle with the next person, continue to make the same types of wrong judgments again and again, and will not listen to people who see the truth and try to disabuse us from our fantasies. To avoid the negative impact of anima or animus, you should have the power and awareness to withdraw the projection once relationship develops. See the person as they really are. Connect to the real person. Idealize them based on their actual positive qualities. Carl Jung's theory perfectly explained why a mature, rational person often cannot control her or his emotions in a relationship, make irrational partner choice repeatedly, and end up relationships unfortunately, and also give a reasonable explanation to Betty's question. To apply the knowledge in your life with the most efficiency, you can apply it in the following aspects. Observe anima or animus of others to have access of their unconscious, which is normally denied by themselves. Be careful of how others project their needs and fantasy onto you. Don't fall into their trap and begin to play the role they want you to play. Then become the mother or the father figure they crave. You will resent that you cannot be yourself and you are not appreciated for your true qualities. Be aware of your own projection on others. See those repressed and undeveloped feminine or masculine qualities. Slowly reconnect to them. Reconnecting with your repressed qualities, you can release creative power, develop more fluid in thinking, and become more and more authentic. That's all for today. Hope you enjoy it. In the next week, we will talk about common types of gender projections. Very interesting. Can't wait for that. If you would like to share your experiences or give us some feedback, you're very welcome to leave comments below. You can also write us which chapter are you especially interested in, and then you may see them coming out in the next time. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video today, don't forget to give a thumbs up to help our content rise to the top, and subscribe our channel. You can find professional psychology tutorials with interesting explanation here. Again, thank you so much for your valuable time and effort dedicated to your mental health. I'm Muli from Little Wisdom. Wish you have a wonderful day and see you next time.